Today's incredible erotic chronicle is entitled, I Like One Each for My Peach. It had been one of those perfect romantic evenings that you only see in jewelry store commercials. A wonderful candlelight dinner, a chick flick, drinks overlooking the water, and then some red-hot sex with my favorite couple. Oh, okay, perhaps I should back up a bit. I guess I've always been a bit bi. Well, okay, to be honest, I guess I've always been totally and utterly, in every measurable way, bi. When I was in high school, girls appealed to me, guys appealed to me, even teachers appealed to me. Luckily, I only had a brief fling with Mrs. Ainsley in my senior year. It was a lot of fun, and I got an A in trigonometry, and I still don't understand how the fuck it works. It's something to do with geometry, I take it? Speaking of taking it, I was underneath her desk, licking her silky slit one day after school, and she casually asked me if I'd like to come to her birthday party at her house on the weekend. I said, sure, just as clearly as I could with a mouthful of cunt, and then made her come so loudly the janitor rushed in to see if anything was wrong. So I showed up that Saturday at Chez Ansley, and it turns out that I'm the only guest. There was me, my hump honey, and her husband. It didn't take long for me to grasp what was about to go down, figuratively and literally. He was kind of cute, so I took off all my clothes and I blew him in front of his Pekingese while Wifey Poo played with my snatch. After I swallowed all his little swimmers, Madame invited me back into the bedroom, and the three of us spent the rest of the afternoon and evening sucking and fucking each other's brains out. Well, okay, they mostly took turns sucking and fucking my brains out. In the end, I don't even think I was offered a piece of cake. When I got home, I was a little sore in my spice rack, but everything considered, I had a pretty good time. Unfortunately, the very next week, a pantless history teacher was busted with the school's halfback, and all hell broke loose. Mrs. Ainsley gave me $300 in a plain manila envelope and asked me to forget that we ever knew each other. The next term, I got an A+ in functions and relations, and a handbag I once mentioned that I liked. Once I got to college, I started dating couples almost exclusively. On any given Friday night, there was always some cute boy with a girlfriend that had downed just enough Rolling Rock that women started to look appealing to her. Usually, in the grim and sober light of the morning, at least one of them would abruptly and oftentimes brutally reassess our budding romance. Though, once in a while, I did get to take a soapy shower with my date couple before going our separate ways. But then, alas, the halcyon days of higher academia were behind me, and I began to crave a relationship that was slightly more serious than a 6.5 sweaty, naked hours spent in a cramped dorm room. Not surprisingly, I decided to become a tad more picky about my choice of mattress meet partners. Of course, I knew some adjustments would need to be made to my modus operandi. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Was I really going to have to sit and talk to these people over breakfast and shit? Hang out with them with their clothes on? Shit, I don't even find me that interesting with my clothes on. This was going to be some tough sledding, but I was determined to give it an honest shot. My search for the perfect man and woman who already thought each other was the perfect man and woman had begun. This kind of endeavor is far more difficult and complicated than it appears, boys and girls. I even dared tread in the treacherous waters of online personal want ads to find my dishy duo, but I didn't manage to get very wet, if you know what I mean. Either she was a gourmet dessert with ice cream and he was a dick-wielding asshole, or he was a dreamboat and she was a sawed-off bitch. I was almost tempted to ask these inexplicable pairings if I could mix and match. Not that I didn't allow myself to go on 1 or 2 dates with some of these mismatched nightmares. One can only wank so much while one is waiting for Mr. and Mrs. Right to wander by. One night, I had just finished wading through a disastrous dinner with a couple of real mutants. Boyfriend kept trying to talk me into blowing him in their car while he zoomed his parents. The girlfriend was into water play. With the amount of club soda she drank during our getting to know you session, I seriously hoped Jerkhead had a lifeboat back at the house. What a total flame out. So I feigned bubonic plague and left them at the restaurant to frantically disinfect themselves. Half an hour later, I was at a bar near my place, drowning my sorrows in a string of Singapore slings, when I spotted this couple in their 40s by the cigarette machine. They were laughing and holding hands, and they just seemed like really nice people. I know lots of people seem really nice when you've had a skinful, but I had 2 skinfuls at that precise moment. They were God's gift to my hungry hamster. Why the fuck not? I thought drunkenly. I paid for a fresh sling and wandered/staggered over in their direction. I figured I would think of something to actually say upon my arrival. Hi, was my brilliant opening gambit.
Well, I know it's only love. Well, I know it's only love.